What's up, Internet World? We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm Leroy.
I'm Michael.
And we're here to review The Harder They Fall.
The Harder They Fall, yes. The newest Netflix, I guess this is a blockbuster movie for them, right? AAA movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got a AAA talent in it.
I mean, talents. Sir, you have. Go ahead. Say what you call him.
What'd I call him?
Idris Elba. What'd you call him?
Oh, Dreezy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Dreezy?
That's not who Dreezy is.
He is for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
He's my Dreezy.
Idris Elba. You got Regina King, Lakey Stanfield.
You got Atticus.
Jonathan Majors.
You got Atticus, yeah.
Who?
Atticus.
Who's Atticus?
Jonathan Majors, Atticus from
man,
Lovecraft Country.
whatever. And you got the man, the myth, the legend, Delroy Lindow.
A brother's love is a brother's love.
Woo!
One of the
Shut
dumbest,
your mouth.
best lines ever from a movie. But I really enjoyed this movie. I was saying before, when I saw the first trailer, I thought it was just going to be a gang of black outlaws taking revenge on Whitey because they got wrong. Mm-hmm. That's not really what the movie was. I didn't need it to be. I just thought that's what it was going to be. But it was kind of different.
Your preconceived notions.
Essentially. It was a fun, stylish movie.
Whitey had nothing to do with this.
No. Well, slightly.
I mean,
slightly. But, yeah. It was just a fun, stylish movie, great soundtrack, and
the soundtrack was hot fire.
I would be happy with a sequel or some type of spin-off or something to see. There's stuff set up to be like, ooh, what could happen?
Yeah, I would. For me, so we reviewed the first trailer or the first teaser when it came out, and then Avery and Chandler did the second one.
Yeah, and Avery didn't even know about it, right?
He didn't know about it, then he didn't know about the history, as we talked about, that this is not the first type of movie like this. There are other movies that depicts black people as cowboys.
Sure.
And some of the commenters were like, excuse me, but well, actually, and I don't think they were ready for that.
Right.
So they didn't, we want to apologize on their behalf. They did not do their research.
I mean, we don't do research, so.
I mean, we kinda. I mean,
yeah.
We do more research than they did.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So, when the trailer came out, I was interested just because of the people who were involved in it. Mm-hmm. And then we watched the trailer, the teaser, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely on board. This is a movie from James Samuel, who's worked with Jay-Z and directed some of his stuff. And Jay-Z has a producer credit on this.
You see Sean Carter at the front, yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, that is his government name. Mm-hmm. So I was really interested in this. I liked it. It was a fun little ride. I have some quibbles with it, but I recommend you see it right now. If you go to Netflix, it is listed as its number one watch things right now. The list changes all the time. So what's number one right now may not be number one in a day or two or a week. And then sometimes stuff comes back.
Sure.
So...
I enjoyed, the one thing I didn't like, because I enjoyed everybody's performance, I didn't like the accents. It was like, so I guess this is a
Regina
Western
King?
accent. Regina King can do no wrong. Friend of the show, you can do no wrong.
But
I don't know what that accent was.
I want to say it was Creole.
Is that what that was supposed to be?
I think that's what that was supposed to be.
Okay, then you know what? Then she's doing three-dimensional chess over here and doing it above my head. That's fine. I was just like, I don't know what this is. Because it was a different accent from everybody else. I was like, where are you from?
I want to say...
But that's fine. It's fine. But that's a slight quibble. I enjoyed the choreography. There's a couple of really nice, cool set pieces in the movie. There's a great set piece between the two female leads. That's awesome. I was like, this is really cool. And I wish the movie maybe went a little bit harder in some of the politics it was talking about. Mm-hmm. But once I realized it wasn't going to be that kind of movie, it was just here for like a fun popcorn flick, I'm like, okay, let's do it.
I thought the accents were very interesting. I thought each person's take on it was very interesting. I'm not going to say whether or not they were well done or not. I thought certain people stood out more so than other people, and I really expected... So the interesting thing to me was that Idris Elba is a force to be reckoned with, to the point where people have been actively campaigning for him to be the next James Bond. He has that much of a presence. Just the suaveness of him.
I think we're past that now, though.
What I'm saying is that's how that's how big he is when it comes to his personality, his character. I love the meme from him when he was on The Office, when he's like, and that one shot, he's like, I understand the effect that I have on women. Like, I don't watch The Office, but I love that meme. Like, that's a man who when he's in something, people are like, oh, what is he doing? He was not, to me, one of the top 5 actors in this movie. And that's saying something after what I just said about Idris Elba. Sure. When you think about this movie, he is one of the marquee talents in Hollywood, and he wasn't even top 5 in this. And other people stood out to me that did an awesome job. So Deon Cole is a role that I have not seen him.
Yeah, I usually see, and I love Deon Cole as a comedian in any comedic role he does. I love him in Blackish a lot. It was interesting to see him here, and I don't know if he may have, but I've never seen him in anything dramatic before. This was interesting to see him in a dramatic role.
I've seen him. You're right. I've seen him in comedies. He did a very the Female Brain. Whitney Cummings directed and starred in it. Somebody else was in that. My boo, favorite person, from Modern Family, was his wife in the movie, and they followed different couples. Sydney Cummings is paired up with Blake Griffin. Okay. And Blake Griffin can act. Okay. I was like, it's very. That's what I'm saying. It's very well done. Deon Cole was very good. Okay. And it's still a comedy, but there was still some drama and some heavy things that he handled. I was like, bravo. Everybody was very well done. Anyway, I say that to say, I was very impressed with this movie. To me, it's like one of those movies you want to see more of. These types of movies, more of us, people of color, in situations you don't normally see. And I can name 10 westerns, and none of them have a black lead. And here's one that you're like, hey,
if you want a western with the black lead, go see Cherokee Kid. You'll thank me later.
I want to hit you in the head with this microphone right now. I need it.
Tell your friends about it, Cherokee
No,
Kid.
do not. No.
You'll thank us.
Stop it.
Recommendation from both the nerds.
No, don't put that out there. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
I'm just saying. But all right, so we got that spoiler. Let's get the spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Oh wait, what would you give it?
Oh, I give it 4 out of 5 gold teeth.
Okay, yeah. I'd probably give it 4 out of 5 stagecoach robberies or train robberies. Yeah.
Train? Which one?
It's train robberies.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 train robberies. There we go. All right, so spoilers. Spoilers alert. I wish they had went harder in terms of talking with like politics of black-owned wealth in a western, and because a lot of times for most of the movie they're in like black-owned towns or towns that are just run by black people, which is cool.
Well, because at that time, let's talk about the fact that this is a very contentious time because there is segregation, so we have to have our own to be able to survive in this country, and we get to a point where Redwood is black-owned. And Idris Elba's character is like, this is my town, and it's FUBU. It's for us by us. And you're right. That would have been nice to see more of the politics and how this came to be, how we accumulated this wealth, and what it was like, and why we had these towns.
Maybe that's something that could have been done in like a TV show. Maybe you don't really have time for it in a movie.
I think you do. The problem is, and this is why I wanted to look it up. So go look at the credits for writing and directing. So James Samuel is the director who shares a writing credit with Boaz Yakin, or Joaquin. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I'd say Yakin personally.
I would say Joaquin. They don't have a lot of like. So James Samuel only has a handful of 2 films under his wing. Most of this, what he's been known for, is music videos. Boaz has a few writing credits, but if you look at what they are, the screenplays are. I'm not saying they weren't bad. If you go back and look at some of the writing credits, I don't know how much he's had a hand in, but if you go, it's like Now You See Me, Story, you see Safe, Prince of Persia, Death and Love, Dirty Dancing, Havana Nights, From Dusk Till Dawn 2, The Rookie, Punisher. You don't see anything that has like a lot of meat to it, like The Watchmen. Or maybe it's just Watchmen, the TV show. In other words, where you debate those, you have those type of things. A lot of it is action, or it's romantic comedies. There's not something in there that has that bite, except for Fresh. That's the really one that stands out that I'm like, you were involved in Fresh, I would have liked to have seen more of that. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where, because I noticed part of the problem in the writing in certain scenes to advance the story. So we get to a point where we know Rufus Black is one place, and we know Nat Love's gang is going there. The whole motive of using Zazie Beetz' character, Stagecoach Mary, to go do recon, and she's like, I can show up, and it's like, no, F you can't.
No.
And this whole idea of, if you show up, we won't kill her. And it's like, that whole writing and that whole damsel in distress thing, I feel like would have been handled better, and the plot point would have moved differently had some people had a different crack at it.
Sure. But I mean, putting that aside, once they got there, that, you know, the final action sequence was great. I really enjoyed the fight scene between Regina King and Zazie Beetz.
Oh yeah,
that was cool. And I was wondering that's another thing in terms of writing or the idea. I think once Zazie Beetz knocks out Regina King, I don't think you just leave her to her own devices. Because they made it seem like she knocked her out and then she just walked away. Because then we see at the end, she has her hat.
Yeah.
I feel like you either kill her or you tie her up or something. I felt it seemed weird that she would just knock her out and then leave.
Here's the problem with that, and this is why I said, here's where the writing comes in. I'm wondering, did they leave her alive because Zazie Beetz and Regina King had that really intense scene where Regina King talks about her sister? Mm-hmm. And was there a mutual amount of respect to the point where here are two women who made it in not just a male-dominated world, a male-dominated world with the racial overtones, and that these two women have stood out amongst each other to a point where you know me and I know you, to where these men know us and know that we move with power.
Yeah.
So I wondered if that was part of the reason, because I thought the same thing too. Like, you didn't kill her? Because my dad always told me, don't leave an enemy at your back.
Because I firmly believe she will kill you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's double tap.
Once she told that story of killing that one little girl,
Hope.
I was like, oh, Hope.
She's like, you gotta kill Hope. I was like,
oh, dang, Hope.
Yeah.
I thought she was just gonna beat her up. Nah. I was done.
They was like, and her throat was slit.
Yeah.
And she was like,
just carving up that apple. Yeah.
So that's where I wonder, is that one of those situations where, and so Hype Williams has this same problem. If you go back and think about certain things like,
go ahead and mention the name of the movie. It's been a minute since you talked about it.
I hadn't worked it in, but I found a way.
You did.
Belly.
The greasiest movie ever filmed.
Son, you knew there was. If we're talking about movie directors,
so much grease in
that music directors, you knew it was coming.
You
should have seen this coming.
Right. You're right.
So Hype Williams is accused of that, being a master at visuals. Because music videos, you don't have, like, a lot of them you don't have to really have. They're just thoughts thrown up on the screen.
Right.
They don't have a lot of narratives like a movie or shorts have. Hype Williams is accused of that in some of the stuff that he's done. You can't tell me Belly is not one of the most stunning visual movies in the sense of scenes and how they use lighting and how they use music. Because this movie did the same thing.
Sure.
But there was that little thing of the writing didn't propel it to be a great movie, because I say this with Idris Elba. You did a great job of making Idris Elba this mean bastard of a man, because you don't even see his face until he comes out of the jail cell on the train. But the way that was shot was just so weird. It was stilted.
What do we think of, and we're running out of time, but what do we think of these historical figures in, like, historical fiction?
I think it's an interesting thing. I think that's very... the movie has gotten some pushback in the sense of Zazie Beetz being cast as Stagecoach Mary and colorism, and that's something in our community we need to get a grasp on and grapple with. We saw that with Zoe Saldana and Nina Simone.
Yeah.
She got a lot of heat for that. She's come back and said, you know what, maybe I was wrong. So we've seen that. I like the idea of some of these historical figures and saying, hey, these people existed, and here's an adventure that they might have been, an adventure.
I mean, if this movie isn't for you, if you want to relate it to something else with more mainstream appeal, Hamilton, Lin-Manuel's Hamilton, all those characters, great musical, great songs, but a lot of stuff didn't happen that way, obviously. But some people may think it did.
Are you saying?
Don't do this.
Are you saying Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton didn't have
rapping duels and whatnot and singing? Yeah, not so much.
Are you saying Aaron Burr did not come out on a stage and be upset because Hamilton wrote, "Oh,
yeah, not so much,"
and didn't sing "Wait for It"?
Yeah, and also, I'm pretty sure Hamilton had so many more children than just the one that they showed or whatever. Yeah, I think he had like 9 or whatever. A lot of children.
Are you saying Dear Theodosia didn't happen in real life?
I mean, I don't know. That song is killer. That's one of my favorites. Man, that is one of my favorites from Hamilton. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting to think about historical figures and how much creative license you get away with. This actually happened, or is it more important? And the movie starts with this, and it says these people existed. I think that's a very powerful statement. It's like maybe they're saying it's not that stuff happened exactly this way, but it's just here are people. Mm-hmm. It kind of reminds me of the other movie that Regina King directed, One Night in Miami. With the 4 people that's based on it, those 4 real people.
Yes.
That's a very good movie, by the way. It took me a while to finally see it, but that's a good movie. And it's just, here's an idea of what might have happened if they had met on this one night.
Because you got to remember that each one of these people, these 4 individual men, were so vastly different and wanting the same thing, but going about it so different. Yeah. From Muhammad Ali to, I want to say it's Jim Brown. Jim Brown. And I'm trying to remember, I cannot remember everybody because I see the actors, but I'm trying to remember the real people. Sam Cooke.
And Malcolm X.
Oh, wow. How did I miss that one?
Yeah.
But anyway, when you think about those 4 individuals and think about what they meant to us as a community, as a society, and then think about the fact of what would it have been like. And that's one of those, honestly, it's kind of one of those barbershop arguments you think about all the time. Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson. It's one of those type conversations.
Sure.
And we're now seeing them play out in the movies.
Yeah.
Who stood out to you? Because I said Idris Elba wasn't even top 5.
I really liked Cuffy. Mm-hmm. Cuffy was very cool.
Cuffy was played by, hold on. It's
Danielle Deadweiler.
Yes.
Yeah. I think she did an amazing job. I liked her a lot. And my boy, and I can't remember what is his name.
R.G. Kyler?
Yeah, I don't know if it's Siler or Kyler or whatever, but he was cool. Just a cocky kid. It's a shame he had to die. I knew it was coming just because the way Lakeith Stanfield's character was like.
They telegraphed it. They were like, you flashy, but he gonna kill you.
Yeah, but it's still, he was counting down. I thought we get to it. Nope, done. It was good, but I like that character overall.
For me, it was R.J. I'm gonna say Siler.
Okay.
R.J. Siler as Jim Beckworth. I first noticed, you knew him as a Power Ranger. I first noticed him in a movie called
Earl and Dynamite.
Yeah.
I saw him in that too. Yeah.
That was where he stood out to me. Lakeith Stanfield was amazing. You're right. The woman who played Cuffy was great. Edie Gathegi, who plays Bill Pickett. I really loved him and Jim Beckworth, R.J. Silers. The interactions between them were really good. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Crimson Hood gang, the actors who played the Crimson Hood gang.
Damon Wayans Jr., man. I love Damon Wayans Jr.
They stole the show. That's where I think the writing and the comedy could have been so much better because the comedy was on point. Mm-hmm. That whole scene when they're arguing and then Damon Wayans is trying to... that, I would have liked to have seen more of that interaction in the movie because I thought that was really good.
Cool.
Delroy Lindow stands out as Bass Reeves.
Yeah, Delroy Lindow's always great. Name a bad Delroy Lindow role.
I got a few.
Name one.
I'm not getting in there because I don't need that kind of heat.
Okay, I'm just I don't know about bad Delroy Lindow.
I'm just saying, Delroy Lindow is one of those dudes where I'm like, that's all y'all did with him? That's Delroy Lindow. That's how I feel. Okay. Delroy Lindow reminds me of how Hollywood has wasted Louis Gossett Jr.'s talent.
Okay.
So that's why I said I enjoyed it. We recommend you watch it. Let us know what you think in the comments. Oh, do you think we're going to get a sequel?
Sure.
Really?
Netflix don't care.
Okay.
Netflix, as much as I love Netflix, they just spend money. They love to spend money. We know things. If things are popular, they will try to greenlight sequels as soon as they can.
Here's my question. So, again, we said spoiler alert. Certain people die in this movie.
Sure.
Deon Cole, shout out, really good acting in that.
Exploded it.
Damn, he.
Yes.
But I said, when you said, rate the movie, that's why I said go team.
Okay.
Because again, Deon Cole is dead, Idris Elba is dead, Lakey Stanfield. Who are the actors or actresses you would like to see if you get a sequel? I don't know. Because this is the thing. I thought it very interesting.
I mean, let's get in Mekhi Phifer. Let's get in Omar Epps.
See, I'm not going there. I was gonna go John Boyega.
Okay.
I was gonna go with more so of the younger, coming for Nat Love. Mm-hmm. Like Regina King's character, since we know she's still around, is like, okay, y'all won this round. Let me go get a whole new crop of people, and we now come for you. And that's why I was like, let's go younger. Let's go. I'm gonna be honest with you. Throw in Zendaya. Let's see a younger squad, kind of like the Expendables kind of did with the third movie. You got an older group. Bring it, you got Delroy Lindow, Jonathan Majors, Zazie Beetz. They got their posse, and bring in a young squad.
Okay.
That's gunning for you.
Okay. Cool. Let us know if you'd like to see that in the comments below here on YouTube. Also find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, sometimes WOTX.com. Hit the bell to know when we put up new videos. Like, comment, subscribe.
Peace.